Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today, and I want to say thank you for the support of my last video. I knew that I was not alone in my doctor not believing me with Crohn's disease. I didn't know how not alone I was because there were so many comments of similar experiences, and it makes me very sad that that is the case, but also shows me that that video was needed, and I hope that others share their experiences and share ways to deal with the doctor not believing you. So thank you so much for that support. Before we get into this video, if you like my content, I would love if you subscribed or liked the video or followed me over on Instagram. So I also want to say that the lighting is going to be funky in this video. I had to switch where I film. I really like my hallway, but because it has the best light, I have to give it to the plants. I have to give it to them. So I had to move back upstairs. I used to film in this room quite a bit, but I cannot get the lighting right. I've got a ring light over here. I've got another light behind me trying to brighten up the room. I've got the lights on in here, and I'm by a window. But because it's like intermittently cloudy, I may go into and out of lightness and darkness. Anyways, I want to share something that I've noticed, especially as somebody who shares a lot of their illness online. I'm pretty open about Crohn's disease and living with an ostomy and sharing very intimate details. Even though that's something I choose to do, I find it really difficult when other people comment on certain aspects of my health. And I'm going to discuss that a little bit further because the one thing that I cannot stand, especially with certain people, is them discussing my weight. There are certain aspects of a person's health that should only be shared if that person wants it to be shared, and that is something that I struggle with. And I, just to put it out there, YouTube, you guys, comments, no problem, because I get so much support from you guys and I don't receive a lot of judgment. Obviously, there's a couple wackadoodles out there, but I don't receive a lot of judgment, especially when I talk about my weight. And I struggle a lot, particularly with that part of my health, probably stemming from that doctor that I just shared about in a previous video. It probably does come a lot from that, but I am very particular when it comes to that. I will share it when I want to, and then there are some times when I'm just funny about it, and I don't necessarily want to share about that or share about how I'm feeling. And the thing is that I feel very comfortable sharing online because I haven't experienced judgment or honestly like the shocked reactions. Have you guys ever noticed that if you're sharing certain details with either family members or friends or certain groups of people, sometimes you get the like jaw-dropped, shocked look, and it makes you super uncomfortable because you're like, well, how should I take this? Should I take this as they think it's a miracle that I'm alive right now? Don't really want to feel that way. Or I don't know, they just can't believe that I've experienced that. I mean, many people experience what I deal with. So I've had a couple of instances recently where I have felt super uncomfortable because of comments made or reactions to my health. And I think it just kind of, not reiterates, but it reestablishes my fear of sharing certain details with people. So I think the first one that I want to share with you is actually a medical person, a healthcare person. I like feel so icky every time, and it's happened 3 times now. I feel so icky every time it happens. I'm like, this is uncomfortable. So obviously I have struggled with my weight the entire diagnosis of Crohn's disease and a little bit beforehand, because it's just been really hard for me to keep on weight. So I've always been underweight. I recognize that I still am, and I have goals and I work hard, but it's just hard for me. And I get irritated with it, not having energy because of it, and sitting on a hard chair and it being painful, like that's annoying to me, and it's something I've dealt with my entire life. And the fact that it all stems from an autoimmune illness that has caused me many surgeries and medications and procedures and hospitalizations, it's not a good thing, right? It's not good. So I have been going in to get IV fluids, and I've spaced that out a bit, but every time beforehand, I get weighed. And I'm super excited for it because I want to see if I'm actually keeping on weight for the first time in years. And there is one person that takes my vitals and takes my weight. Super nice person. Extremely kind, extremely professional, except for when I get on the scale and the number pops up, every time, I wish I could be that weight. And I have, like, it kind of took me off guard. Like, I didn't know what to say. So the last few times I've said, oh, well, like, I'm really excited about this. It's higher than the last time. Like, this is awesome. And then they say again, like, wish I could be that. And I'm thinking to myself, do I go into detail of why it is so little? Like, do you want to be missing your colon and rectum and have a sewn up anus and, have to take injectable medications and go through surgeries and have all that fun stuff? But obviously, I don't want to be like the psycho patient who unleashes all of that on this unsuspecting person that I know is not saying it to piss me off, basically. It's probably just something that they've been used to saying and it comes out. And I'm trying to figure out how to handle that so that way maybe next time they don't say, like, wish I could be that weight. Because I think if you knew why I was that weight, you really wouldn't wish that. So it's not like I go up to somebody who's heavier than me and say, man, wish I could be that weight. Because it's inappropriate, especially if I don't know them, if I don't know their history and stuff. It's always kind of bugged me. And so that is one of the things that I've been, dealing with more recently. The second experience, now we love Zach. We love Zach. Number one support. But sometimes he will share details of my health, not because he's trying to throw them out there and embarrass me, but because he's trying to help educate people and create awareness for me to make things easier on me. But every once in a while, he'll take it a step too far, and I get uncomfortable. And so I'll share about a recent experience, and I did talk to him, so it's okay, and he understood. But something that happened was we were with a group of people. I'm not going to specify who, but we were with a group of people, and based on previous reactions that I've gotten sharing about my health, I don't want to share all the details. I'm very comfortable talking with Zach, talking with my dad, immediate family, because they've seen me go through everything and they understand why things are the way that they are with me. But we were with a group of people and they know, I have Crohn's. They know about my ostomy. They know I don't have an anus. They know all the things, right? But they saw me recently kind of not feeling super great. You guys saw I was losing a lot of energy and wound up going on the IV fluids every week. Now down to every other week, but at the time, every week. And it wasn't something that I was necessarily offering the information to them. I think that they could tell I wasn't feeling well, and they were asking about me because they know I deal with Crohn's. And I think Zach had brought it up that, oh yeah, she's starting IV fluids, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, I guess I'll tell him about that. So I told him, and it was fine, and that was totally fine. But then a few weeks later, when we were with that same group of people, they had asked, an update. How are you feeling since you've been on the IV fluids? And I said, oh, a lot better, like less fatigued, a lot more energy, and, just generally doing better. And I just kind of kept it vague because I wanted to. Sometimes I am fine shouting out the weight, sharing the number with people. Obviously, I share it on here with you guys all the time. I'm not fearful to share my weight with you because a lot of you guys know and have experienced the reason why I weigh what I weigh, and I am the size that I am. I know that I would probably be taller if Crohn's disease did not wreak havoc on me at the ripe age of, 8 to 12 years old. I recognize I'm a small person because of it. Not everybody does. Not everybody does. So I, just told him, generally doing better. And Zach chimes in and goes, yeah, she's 94 pounds now. And I looked over at him like, excuse me? Those were not the details for you to share. And he meant well. He was trying to show them actually how well I was doing. And one person in the group looked at another person in the group and said quietly, 94 pounds. She weighs 94. And I was like, okay, yes, I do. I recognize I'm the smallest person in this room. I do. Out of my control. It made me so uncomfortable. And I know I feel hypocritical because I am 90% of the time fine sharing it, but there are certain cases where I'm funny about it. And I just didn't want them to know because of things like that, where they're like, oh my God, she weighs 94. It felt gossipy almost. I don't know. I was so uncomfortable. And I hate that. I hate when people react like that. I wish people would just say fantastic. Oh my gosh, you're gaining weight. That's awesome. You're achieving the things that you want to achieve. And that's pretty much what I experience here on YouTube, which is why I'm fine sharing it so publicly, but then not in private settings. I don't know. It's just, my weight has always been just such a pain in the ass. I have, for the most part, always hated getting my weight taken because it always meant negative things for me. Just, you're not working hard enough. You're not doing what you need to do. You're not eating enough. I remember as a kid, I considered putting weights, wearing a sweatshirt and putting some sort of weight in my pocket to fake a higher weight. And then I remember the disappointment from, family members and stuff. It just, I don't know, but it is turning into a positive thing because of people like you on YouTube that are excited for me when positive things are happening and supportive when, maybe I lose weight. When I told you guys a couple months ago that I was down to the upper 80s, there were very few comments that were saying oh my God, you need to be hospitalized. I mean, that's what I wanted to say when the person was saying, oh my God, 94. I was like, you should have seen it a couple months ago. 94 is not as light as I can get. You should have seen me in high school when I weighed 60 or 55. I don't know. And I know that the weight is not the point. It might be different for everybody, whatever symptom you don't want to share. There are times with certain groups of people that I'm just not 100% comfortable with. Zach can kind of tell when I don't feel well, and he will look at me and ask louder than I want him to, oh, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? And even if my stomach does hurt, I don't necessarily want the room to know. I don't think it's so much about faking wellness, but I just don't want to advertise it all the time. Sometimes I just want to keep it to myself and deal with it privately rather than people fawning over me and, oh, are you okay? I've always hated that. I like to suffer in peace and quiet. So, I don't know. You guys will have to let me know if you've ever experienced anything like this and how you approach it, because it's making me uncomfortable where I'm kind of let me not talk about how I'm feeling so much. I need to figure out something to say when I get my weight checked, because I'm kind of like, come on, like, you don't need to be jealous of my sickly weight. It's frustrating. I don't know. The things we experience as chronically ill people, it's a pain. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you can comment below with some suggestions, especially because I know I am not alone in this either. I know probably many people experience others talking about their illness and it feeling like they're gossiping or talking behind your back when you are the one experiencing the illness. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I can get the lighting situation figured out. There is another room in the house that I could film in, but it has a giant, not functional hot tub in it, and would need some demolition and some work. So I'm considering it. Who puts a hot tub? Who builds an addition onto a house around a hot tub that is on the second floor that is not hooked up to plumbing? So essentially I would have to, I don't know. I don't know how to remove a hot tub, a non-functional hot tub that is just sitting there that could potentially like crash through the ceiling at any time. I don't know. Anyways, so I am considering doing some work to that room because it would be a great place for me to do some filming. It's quiet and it's very bright, but that'll take some time. So we might be stuck with this for the next few months until my plants are ready to head on outside. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next. Bye guys.